Welcome, good people of YouTube. How you doing? I'm doing fine. Yeah, Ubisoft shut down its studio in Halifax. That's a consequence of their action. Found a good video, and let's see what they're talking about. They're talking about 71 employees being left, being released of work, and yeah, I feel bad for the people. I feel bad for the developers because they have some good input sometimes, and they make stuff from their heart. But the people, management, upper shareholders, and these kind of executive fucks, folks. I mean, you can decide for yourself. But still, we still hate Ubisoft. I'm currently platinum Watch Dogs 1. I platinumed all of the other Watch Dogs. I, I I'm close to like finishing a few other games. But from Ubisoft, that's only one left, and I'm honestly scared that they're gonna shut down the servers before I can do it. I'm honestly scared, so because they will go complete bankrupt. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notification. Sorry.
Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to say that even unions can't protect Ubisoft developers from the company's financial downturn.
Yeah, still it is awfully suspicious timing, isn't it? Maybe not quite.
Perfect. Notice the mistake before it was getting too wild.
Ubisoft completely shut down a studio in Halifax, Canada that unionized just last month. Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to say that even unions can't protect Ubisoft developers from the company's financial downturn.
Yeah, still it is awfully suspicious timing, isn't it? Maybe not quite as suspicious as what Rockstar Games just pulled, but we'll get there.
Good point. Ubisoft claims they've closed their Ubisoft Halifax studio due to, quote, company-wide actions to streamline operations, improve efficiency, and reduce costs, according to a statement.
I hate reading those phrases in any circumstance. It just sounds so impersonal.
Yeah.
But it's a company. What do you
It
expect?
really does.
Info pages for the studio have already been wiped from Ubisoft's website. This studio developed the 2018 mobile strategy game Assassin's Creed Rebellion and contributed work to the upcoming Rainbow Six mobile game, which is launching next month.
So GamesIndustry.biz reports that live operations for Assassin's Creed Rebellion will end due
Ubisoft, like Rainbow, is the only thing that's keeping Ubisoft alive. It's just it's a fact.
to a steady decline in the game's earnings. And then Rainbow Six Mobile's operation will move under Vantage Studios. That's the
They even postponed earning calls, didn't hold back some numbers. It was an absolute mess. Like what the executives did at Ubisoft, you deserve it. It's like there's a quote like, if buying isn't owning, pirating isn't stealing. It's just as easy as it goes. Like, for real, bro.
the new Tencent backed spin off studio. Ubisoft claims they've closed their Ubisoft Halifax studio. Ubisoft
Small brain
Studios.
moment.
That's the new Tencent backed spin off studio meant to operate Ubisoft's banner franchises, and so that people don't know that they're Ubisoft games and can shit on them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Also, just to collect all the
That's
most
the
earning
problem.
properties under one thing, so all the executives can only work on that, and everybody else can just be on a sinking ship. Good times, good maneuvering. Yeah, really, this just seems like another day, another example of Ubisoft searching the couch cushions for extra change because it's not going well for them, right?
The timing here is very suspicious. Here's the problem. The studio's around 60 workers joined the Communication Workers of America union just last month.
Interesting. Ubisoft, of course, claims the studio closure is unrelated to its unionization, which CWA Canada says would be illegal.
And while CWA Canada isn't outright accusing Ubisoft of union busting, they do call the news devastating in a statement and vow to pursue every legal recourse to defend its members. Good. As well they should.
I do wonder what those legal recourses are. They're essentially demanding that Ubisoft prove that the firings were not part of the unionization. I'm not sure how they could do that, aside from just saying it wasn't and that's it. But
Of course they can. If money's tight. I mean, they can, and they just will blatantly do it. I mean, what you gonna think?
We won't say that. Ubisoft, at least circumstantially, has been closing a lot of studios and shutting down a lot of projects lately, which could contribute some credence to what they're saying.
That's the real problem with Ubisoft. They're constantly laying people off, so you never know, really. In December 2024, the publisher.
Yeah, I mean, like they're cutting costs since like a few years back, 2 years back. That's when all that shit started. I mean, 2025, the fiscal beginning of 2025 was already in a down spiral. Like it was already regression.
Shut down its free-to-play shooter X Defiant and closed studios in San Francisco and Osaka, affecting over 270 developers.
Then in January 2025, the company reduced its Leamington, UK studio. Well, it's probably like Lymington or something like that. Apologies if you're in the UK and I slaughtered the name, but it's Leamington, UK studio to a skeleton crew and laid off more developers in its Dusseldorf, Stockholm, and Newcastle studios, affecting over 180 employees overall.
And Ubisoft and layoffs, they go hand in hand. Like chocolate and peanut.
What you expect from a company that's failing that miserably? What do you expect? I mean, and they can't be really. I mean, like, yeah, they can charge them, but if there's no money and the company's not doing well, one of the biggest costs in, like, the biggest spending, the biggest cost in a company is always going to be personnel. Always. That's why they're trying to get rid of the people. That's why they're trying to replace it with AI. With robots. Robots can't be sick. You don't have to pay for robots. You have to pay for them one time, maybe some maintenance work and here and there. And yeah. After that, you're good to go. You're absolutely good to go.
Butter. So obviously this isn't good news. That's why I'm making jokes, trying to, make light of it, but it's not, because a lot of people lost their jobs. This also does lend credibility to Ubisoft's claim.
It will be way worse.
That the Halifax studio closure is part of a company-wide cost cutting and not targeting union activity.
Yeah. It seems that the Halifax studio had started their unionization process earlier this year, and Ubisoft has been shuttering studios and trying to find cost cutting since before that. However, there is another studio that did a far more suspicious layoff, and if we compare, we can see what that looks like. Rockstar Games terminated between 30 and 40 employees in November 2025. Pretty recent.
Yeah, we reported on this. Rockstar Games parent company Take-Two claimed the employees were fired for, quote, gross misconduct and for no other reason at the time.
Yeah, Rockstar Games would later say that these employees were sharing corporate secrets, and that's why they were laid off.
Yeah.
A workers' union of Great Britain spoke.
After they got laid off, then they will share secrets and break NDAs. Those non-disclosure agreements won't hold up. Not always. They just don't.
Person called this action, quote, one of the most blatant and ruthless acts of union busting in the history of the games industry.
Unlike Ubisoft, Rockstar Games is not conducting company-wide cost cutting. They're ramping up for the biggest video game of all time. Nor were the infected employees working on a game with declining revenues, because Rockstar is constantly making billions of dollars.
Yeah, so it's not a great situation, but unfortunately, a lot of the circumstantial evidence here does kind of point to this studio getting closed as part of the course of a larger cost reduction strategy.
Ubisoft, exactly. This like they got what they deserved. It's that easy. It's you've seen what they did. Their stocks went down. I mean, like it's at the same level as it was 20 years ago when the studio was about to go up. It's on the same level. They lost all their shares. They did go woke, go broke. They did all of that bullshit just to try to stay relevant. They had good products, and they washed all of their products with recent stereotypes. Like, help me fill in the blanks. Like trend setting. Like they bandwagon on trends with their products. So they wash their products with recent current new stuff that comes out, that brain rot, that idiocracy of LGBT wokeness, that bullshit. They wash their products with that stuff and bring out the new product. So what made them famous isn't priority anymore at all. So after that, what are you left with? Nothing. Completely utter bullshit of nothing. Go woke, go broke. They now feeling every bit all of the consequences of their action. Like these people talking in circles.
And in a way, kind of speaks to unions are great. I'm going to say that right away. People should be unionized. People should have collective bargaining power. People should espouse for the value of their own labor. But unions don't solve every problem in the labor market and don't protect employees from every issue in the games industry, unfortunately. They can do a lot, but they can't do everything. And I see sometimes when a lot of folks see, employees get laid off, they bring up unions as the answer to that. And that's not quite the case. Unions are how you negotiate for better pay or better conditions. But if the company doesn't want to hire or pay for that labor,
You gotta go after them. You gotta do all the work almost. It's like unions are great on paper, but that's it.
that's just kind of it. That's where the negotiations break down. So, and a union can, after the fact, kind of go after a company and try to secure more resources for the employees that were let go. So it can make the process smoother and again secure more resources for its members. But yeah, it's not a infallible, unshakable shield against anything bad happening.
You're absolutely right, Lawrence. And we're not siding with Ubisoft here. Let me tell you, Lawrence, I'm going to give you a little peek. I'm going to give you a little peek into the boardroom of Ubisoft. So I'm going to tell you what happened, and I can almost guarantee this is exactly how it happened. That studio unionized last month, and all of the Ubisoft executives were sitting around a table and went, "We need to cut costs. Who is first on the list? The studio that just unionized? Yes, we will get rid of them. I can guarantee it." Now, there will be no proof. There'll be no emails traded back and forth, but they all kind of winked and nodded at each other because I promise you, they don't like that union. They're not excited about the fact that employees unionize, executives don't. That means less money in their pocket. So that's probably what happened. Hopefully the CWA Canada
executives
can
have
find
less
proof
money
of
in their
that,
pocket.
because then that will secure a bunch of money for the employees that got laid off. But
unfortunately,
it's probably a wink and a nod and a random conversation in a back hall.
Yeah, this is the scary thing, and this is what corporate owners will happily reinforce, is that sometimes joining a union, it makes it means that the company's going to have to pay more for your labor, essentially, or attaining that labor is going to be more complicated because now they have to negotiate a contract with a union versus just keeping every individual in the dark and telling them that they couldn't find any money for raises this year. Sorry, pal. So I agree. I think employees unionizing does sort of make them a soft target, not a hard target because you can't write that shit down. But in this specific circumstance, it did seem like a pretty bad confluence of factors. They were working on a mobile game that did seem to be declining. It's 6 years old at this point. More than that, it's like 8 years old at this point. For a mobile game, it's in the ground basically. So that this the fact that the work that this company was putting out was earning less and less money, and also they just unionized, which means their labor cost is going to go up. those two things are bad, especially when you're trying to, trim costs and raise revenues. So, yeah, I agree that
That's essentially what they're doing. They're paying the price for it. They're paying the price for it.
that might not be,
And I love it. Honestly, I love it. They deserve it.
that might have put a target on their back, but that doesn't mean people shouldn't unionize. It just means, again, that the situations can be a little more fraught, a little more inhuman, and unfortunately, yeah, unionizations doesn't fix all that.
Ubisoft is just constantly rake stepping, and the problem is that I really like the video games they've been releasing recently. Assassin's Creed Shadows I thought was great. Star Wars Outlaws was great. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, great. So that speaks to the fact that the people that are unionizing are the ones that are actually doing the work and making the good video games, and then the executives are just fucking it up for Ubisoft. So anybody that works at Ubisoft and has a shirt that says Ubisoft on it now, everyone's just sort of like turning up their nose at them, at least in terms of the consumer. So I feel very bad for the developers there at Ubisoft.
Yeah, I don't even know how they're going to turn around their image and morale problem. It's just going to take like 5 years and lots of good games. That's typically the only thing that'll turn audiences around. Sheesh. I mean, really, to your point, I just hope Ubisoft Massive finds a way to survive all this crap.
Yeah,
because
they
they're
gotta
probably
find
the
an
best
investor.
studio at Ubisoft right now. Yeah.
They gotta find an investor and try to get over the rounds. Like they really need to get a hold of some money, liquidity, and focus on what made you great. It's not that hard. It's not you have to like, yeah, you gotta create new products, but like with already, like I got a lot of blanks lately. I'm sorry for that. But you get so you don't, yeah, you gotta create a new game, but you still have current remaining ideas. Like you got products that already made you great, so you can like really construct on that, like build from that. But they're not gonna do it. Ubisoft is just
I wasn't super hot on Shadows myself, but I agree. Avatar and Star Wars Outlaws were phenomenal, and it's pretty great that Avatar's still getting content and getting updates and stuff like that. So, Ubisoft Massive, I'm pulling for you. I love you. God, I hope you can get out of that abusive household.
Thank you very much for
They're not
watching
gonna-
Inside Games. Every time we report on,
they're not gonna survive this. I hope they will. But like on the other hand, I don't hope they will, because like I said, if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. Like they try to close servers on the Crew 2. It's a shit show, and you deserve it. I appreciate the reminder to continue not buying anything they make. Yup. Good old Ubisoft, we still hate them, and it's gone. It's gone, and it will be gone. Yeah. Greetings from Halifax. Ubisoft had a booth at HalCon annual geek convention last November, and were taking resumes to hire people to absolutely believe Ubi closed it in retaliation for staff unionization. Bro, we gotta have staffs. The executives can't be always above the law, like above everything. But unfortunately, they are. Like that's just the way it is. Something's gotta change. Well, like these executives pay the price now, and they can't uphold their numbers to the shareholders. So yeah, they're probably being cycled. But that's it. Have nothing anymore to say. See ya.